Hey gamers, Kyle here. Another episode of Game Time for you. Today we're going to be taking a look a little bit at the cool, released in 1999, SNK Neo Geo Pocket Color. This was not their first handheld. They actually did original Neo Geo Pocket about a year prior to this. But if you're going to go for one, you might as well go for the color version. So that's what we got here. So on this episode, we're going to be taking a look around the system itself, kind of touring, taking a closer look at it. Taking a look at what some of the games look like for it. I'll learn a little bit of the history and stuff for it. A couple of fun, entertaining facts. And then at the end of the video, we are going to be playing a couple minutes of Metal Slug, First Mission, and Sonic Pocket Adventure for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. So it should be fun, and glad to have some more SNK content on my channel. I'm a big fan of the Neo Geo. Although I only have this and the Neo Geo X. So I need to get the actual console and games, but they're so expensive. But in the meantime, this is a fun little pocket size, and I think it's great to have in any arcade fan collection, as well as if you're a fan of mobile gaming, definitely worth having. So we'll be taking a look at this next on Game Time. Anyway, gamers, here it is, the Neo Geo Pocket Color. It shows the color right there, so not to be confused with the original Neo Geo Pocket. Yeah, just a quick tour of the system. Not a whole lot to look at, but we'll do it here really quick. There's our power button. Our classic SNK Neo Geo clicky stick is on here. I actually like this quite a bit on the Pocket Color. There's our little speaker. Gets some pretty good volume on there. An options button up here in the corner. We have our A and B buttons. Looks like it could be a little bit of sound coming out of there as well, and everything. The SNK logo, Neo Geo Pocket Color. On bottom is where we have our volume, kind of a little volume rocker there. We have our headphones, should you choose to do that, and a cord or spot for the AC adapter if you want to plug into a wall. I like to get the adapters for my handhelds just because I don't like to use batteries a whole lot. On top, not much on here, just a little extension port. I guess if they had any extra peripherals, that's where that would go. There's our cartridge slot for that on the back. That's where your games go. Right here is a battery cover. Two AA batteries, actually, are needed to power up this system, as well as a slot for one of those thin, round batteries. I can't open this right now, and I'm not sure what size it takes, but I'm sure we could research that and everything. Maybe I can try to get it open here real quick. There we go. One's not in there, but it looks like it takes something. I don't know. So you are able to play your games without this battery in here. It just won't. I'll show you when I boot it up. It has some troubles getting started. So it's good to have this battery in here. That's kind of extra memory that keeps track of the in-game clock and everything. So not mandatory, but useful to have. So yeah, that's the Neo Geo Pocket Color itself. Just a couple of fun facts before we kind of compare it to like Game Boy Advance and everything. We have it came out March 1999 in Japan. And later on in August 99 here in the U.S., a little bit later in European countries. $70 originally, U.S. dollars, was this thing. It had 14 launch titles for it, which was pretty good at the time, actually. A lot of games just didn't ever come with that many right off the bat. 2.7-inch screen, and as far as how well it did do 2 million plus sales, if you do count the original Neo Geo Pocket in there as well, including that and the color. So over 2 million. Not too bad, not too bad. And the Neo Geo Pocket itself was out in 1998, so that didn't do as well and only lasted a year before they decided to kind of retool and make a color version. Game Boy Color was pretty popular at the time. And as far as competition, yeah, Game Boy Color. It had some fierce competition with Pokemon at the time. A lot of people were into that, so this was kind of ignored. Other competition, mostly in Japan, was the Bandai Wonder Swan in Japan. If you're familiar with that, that was also apparently did pretty well in Japan. So this came in 6 colors. I had sort of the platinum silver here. Sega was the only major third-party developer for it. Sega only did a couple games, including Sonic Adventure, which we'll take a look at here, or Pocket Adventure, which we'll take a look at right here. And also, only in Japan, after a while, it came out with the new Neo Geo Pocket Color. A lot of people kind of poked fun at Nintendo here recently for doing the new 3DS, while Neo Geo back then did, or SNK I should say, did the new Pocket Color. It was only released in Japan, I think even a year later, so it would have been 2000, 13% smaller than this. Just some comparisons here. I have the Game Boy Advance right here, about the same size and everything. Pretty neat, pretty similar look to it as well. As you can tell, Game Boy Advance does have the shoulder buttons. And I said here's the game itself when compared to original Game Boy games, just about 1 or 2/3 the size of an original Game Boy game. But throw the Game Boy Advance games here, just a little bit taller than that. About the same width, just a little bit taller than the Game Boy Advance game. So they came in little cases like these as well, which was kind of nice. Kind of like the original Game Boy games had those clear plastic cases. So did these. So yeah, there's these games right here. I just have just a handful of them, but the collection will grow. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take a look at probably one of the more popular games. This is Metal Slug First Mission. There also was a Metal Slug second mission, a second one, so I have to keep an eye out for that because I really do like some Metal Slug, and it's a lot of fun to play on the Pocket Color. And then we're going to take a look at maybe a stage or so here in Sonic Pocket Adventure, so stay tuned for that. Alright, it's a little too hard to play and record with this because the screen is kind of weird, so I'm just going to let the game kind of play itself, you know, those demo screens. So here's Metal Slug First Mission. Kind of see some of the fun excitement there. You're in your vehicle. Let me get maybe another demo screen booted up there. Here we go. There's our Metal Slug we know and love. And like I said, pretty good volume. It's pretty loud. You want to listen to it with the headphones on, though, for sure. It's just like playing it on the original Neo Geo, which I like quite a bit. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. So yeah, a little bit of Metal Slug First Mission there. My power, as you can see, my battery, just because it doesn't have that that round battery, and so yeah, a little bit of Metal Slug First Mission. Let's take a look at some Sonic. Alright, Sonic the Hedgehog Pocket Adventure. Look at that there, 1999. Like we said, Sega was one of the few major third-party developers to do some games for that. So yeah, let's see if this game will go by itself here. A little demo would be pretty neat. Here we go. Kind of how it runs on the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Not too bad, actually. And consider how it looks, definitely a little bit better than it was on the original Game Gears back in the day, and definitely a lot more smoother and quicker running than it would be on the Game Boy Color. So gotta like that quite a bit. So yeah, this is a lot of fun to play, and having that that joystick is pretty fun way to control some Sonic. Let's take a look at it, see if they'll do another stage for us. So very much like Casino Night Zone on Sonic 2. One of my, I think a lot of people's favorite stages. Just something about that a lot of us really like. But yeah, it runs very smooth, very quick on the Neo Geo Pocket Color, so like that quite a bit. Yeah, that's pretty much the Neo Geo Pocket Color from SNK. Thanks everybody for watching and liking the video. Sorry for kind of the weird recording quality this time out. Recording some of these handhelds is pretty tricky, but let me know what you think of this overall, if this is worth checking out, or if you have one, what games you recommend for it. Always looking for good recommendations, especially for some Neo Geo games, which I really love, but just don't have a lot of them. So yeah, that'll do it. Again, thanks everybody for watching, liking, subscribing, and everything. We'll see you in the next video. Kyle out.